Yusuf Al-Helou, a Palestinian political analyst who's originally from Gaza and based in the UK. Good afternoon.
Hello, hi, thank you so much for having me.
I know you have family in Gaza right now. We'll get on to how life is for them in a second. But what is your take on this partial suspension from the British government?
Well, obviously the suspension of 30 licenses is just for media consumption, really, and to absorb the anger of the British public. It's not going to put an end to Israel's attacks against the civilian population in Gaza, and it's not going to really force Israel to abide by international law. People say it's not enough. The Palestinian people, they say that the British authorities are complicit because they supply Israel with weapons, and British planes, they fly over Gaza for reconnaissance purposes.
When you add this into other moves that the new Labour government have made, though, they are now refunding UNRWA, the UN refugee agency in Gaza. They've also said they've dropped their opposition to the international arrest warrant against Benjamin Netanyahu, which the previous government were supporting. It seems to be a general shift in tone and position. What do you think to that when you add it in with those other factors?
Well, of course, such measures are welcome by the Palestinian people, but they say it's not enough. In order to alleviate the suffering of the Palestinian people, sending aid without putting an end to this war is not going to help. But the stance of the British government, the Labour government, of course, is totally different, and it is being shifted. People can notice this, and we can see that Israel is annoyed from this shift. But overall, if you ask the Palestinian ordinary people, they say this is only for media consumption, really. Britain should have put real pressure on Israel to stop killing civilians in Gaza.
Is that what your family in Gaza feel? It's performative?
I do have a family in Gaza, and miraculously, they survived 320 days of an ongoing Israeli genocidal war. They say that life is like hell in Gaza. Life is not suitable for living. Gaza is not suitable for living, as all civic life and infrastructure have been destroyed. They suffer from a sort of starvation, lack of proper healthy food, and only flour and food cans are available. There is no vegetables, no fruit, no meat, no medicine. And in Israel's eyes, all Palestinians in Gaza are collateral damage.
We were hearing from Phil Rosenberg earlier, president of the board of Deputies of British Jews, and from his side of the fence, he says the timing couldn't be worse. There were funerals of the 6 hostages yesterday, so the message that the British government is sending to Hamas on that day of all days is they can commit atrocities and it's Israel that's punished.
Well, it seems that Israel is annoyed from any just move by any government worldwide in order to say no to violations of international law. Netanyahu is not satisfied with such measures. He is in bad relationship with Biden himself. And it seems that the Palestinians are being collectively punished following the 7th of October attack carried out by Hamas, because Israel decided to severely seek revenge and hold all the Palestinians responsible for what Hamas did. Let me reiterate that Hamas and other resistance movements is a result and a product of Israel's ongoing decades of brutal military occupation. Israel wanted a boogeyman in order to justify its frequent attacks in Gaza. So when Netanyahu shows that he is angry, this shows that he wants to enjoy impunity. And this impunity cannot go on forever. He must be held accountable, and the Israeli government must not go on with its violations of international law.
Just the final point, though, we've had demonstrations outside the Foreign Office in London today, people saying, well, this move will embolden Hamas. That's the effect it's going to have, because they feel as if they are, the momentum is on their side. What do you say to that?
I think when people take to the streets to call for an end to the genocide, this is not a support for Hamas.
This is Israelis in London saying that. This is part of the Israeli population here in the UK saying that.
Well, and even they said that the Palestinian flag is a terrorism flag. I mean, they will not tolerate any signs of solidarity and sympathy with the Palestinians. Palestinians are being collectively punished. This genocide, there is nothing justifies the genocide in Gaza. And these demonstrations only call for ceasefire.
Yusuf, thank you so much for joining us. Yusuf Al-Helou, Palestinian political analyst, originally from